Okay, so your Unit 1 IT exam is staring you down, you've got almost no time left, and you need a plan. Right now. Well, this is your emergency guide. Let's get into it.
Let's just put it out there. The clock is ticking, loud. You have one single day to get ready for an exam that covers a ton of material.
And that sinking feeling in your stomach, that voice screaming that you need to learn everything like yesterday, yeah, that's totally normal. But panic is not a strategy. We're going to replace that feeling with a real, actionable plan. So when cramming the whole textbook is completely off the table, what's left? You don't study harder, you have to study smarter. This is your lifeline. This is the secret weapon we're using today, the 80-20 triage method. Forget trying to read every single chapter, that's just not going to happen. The goal here isn't to become an expert overnight. Nope, it's to find the parts of the exam that are worth the most marks and absolutely nail them.
So how does this actually work? Well, first, think of this like you're a doctor in an ER. You're not trying to do a full checkup, you're looking for the most critical injuries. We're going to find those high-value topics, the ones worth the big points, and focus all our energy there. We'll even use official examiner reports to see the common traps students fall into so you can just step right over them. The goal is simple: damage control and grabbing every single point you possibly can.
Okay, first high-value target on our list, data flow diagrams. You might know them as DFDs. These practical questions, they are absolute gold mines for marks, but only if you know what the examiner is really asking for. So let's break it down. Right, take a look at this. It's a classic 2-mark question from a past exam. Explain one way data flow diagrams are used by organizations. Seems super simple, right? But this is exactly where so many students trip up and lose easy marks.
Now check out what a lot of people write. Data flow diagrams are used to graphically display the flow of data inside a system. I mean, that sounds correct, doesn't it? But here's the trap. It only describes what a DFD is, it doesn't explain how it's used. And that tiny difference is everything.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote is straight from the horse's mouth, the principal examiner's report. They're literally telling you, this is the mistake everyone makes. They're basically handing you the keys to get full marks.
So here's the secret sauce. To get those full marks, you have to frame your answer around its use. You can say it's a planning tool that shows how data gets processed as it moves around, or you could say it's a communication method that gives developers and clients a common language to talk about the system. Either one gets you the points. It's such a small change in how you word it, but it makes all the difference. All right, let's move to our next high-value topic, SQL. I can pretty much guarantee you're going to face a practical question where you have to write SQL code by hand. It's worth a lot of marks, and just like DFDs, it's full of mistakes that are totally predictable and totally avoidable.
Okay, here's the mission from a past paper. You've got this table of train arrivals, and you need to write the SQL code to remove all the trains from a specific station. And look at that, it's worth 4 critical marks. And this right here perfectly shows the most common mistake. Look at what this student wrote. They tried using select and alter. You can see what they were thinking, right? They know they need to get rid of something, but in a panic, they grabbed the wrong tool for the job. To remove records, you have to use delete. That simple little syntax error, it costs you pretty much all the marks for the question. And the examiner feedback on this is crystal clear. This isn't about understanding some deep, complex theory. It's about pure and simple memorization. You absolutely have to get the core SQL syntax burned into your brain before you walk into that exam room. So here it is. This is your non-negotiable checklist. Spend your time memorizing these 6 commands and exactly what they do. Select, from, where, order by, inner join, and of course, delete. This right here is the 20% of effort that is going to get you 80% of your marks on the SQL part of the exam.
All right, we've tackled 2 of the biggest high-value topics. Now let's zoom out a bit and talk about the psychology of the exam itself. It's time to get inside the examiner's head.
You know, one of the biggest hidden traps in any exam is misunderstanding the command words. Describe and explain. They are not the same thing. If a question asks you to describe, you give the what, you list the features. But if it asks you to explain, you have to give the why, the reasons, the cause and effect. Mixing these up is such an easy way to lose points, just like we saw with that DFD question earlier.
Now you have to listen to this. This quote is from an actual examiner training session. They are not out to get you. In fact, it's the opposite. They are actively looking for reasons to give you marks. That means even if your SQL code isn't perfect, you can still get points for the parts you got right. So what does that mean for you? It means you always write something down. You attempt every single question, no matter what. Finally, let's do 4 rapid-fire tips to manage the pressure cooker of exam day. 1. Reframe your goal. You're not trying to master the entire subject. You're on a mission to score points. 2. Breathe. If you feel panic setting in, use box breathing. It's simple. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. It really works. 3. Start with an easy win. Find a question you know you can answer and crush it to build confidence and momentum. And 4. Sleep. Seriously, pulling an all-nighter is self-sabotage. Your brain needs sleep to lock in everything you've just crammed.
So this is the big takeaway. Your job in the next 24 hours is not to learn everything. That's impossible. Your job is to become a strategic, tactical point scorer. Use this triage method, hunt down those high-value questions, and walk into that exam ready to claim every single mark you can. You've got this.